everyone, happy Wednesday, middle of the week, Wednesday. You see Feathers Elite Pigeon Auction logo there behind you. You don't see my face yet because I'm not going to give you that pleasure right off the hop. This is Wednesday morning and we went back in time. And this is what we're going to bring you from back in time. Hey, you guys know me from Ryan from Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions. Oh, thank you. We're going to have some coffee. We're going to talk something different. This isn't about selling pigeons. This is about going back into the past and seeing how these pigeons were clocked. And I'm going to introduce you to a gentleman I met about 5 years ago at the Fugare Pigeon Show. His name is Tom, and I'm going to bring him on momentarily. And we're going to interview Tom. We're going to get deep down on how he got this sick, crazy obsession. This is a guy with over 400 clocks and racing pigeon memorabilia. I'm going to turn the camera over to the one and only Tom from Tom's Pigeon Museum, Tom's Clocks.
Yeah.
Tom's the man. If you guys have questions for Tom anywhere here in the world, ask them. If you want to get a hold of him, hey, he's on Facebook. You're just going to have to look him up. But this is Tom. And Heather Green already from Idaho says, hello, Tom. I've already said hello to Tom. I sat down and I interviewed Tom this morning. And I will say, this man is incredible. He's a gentleman that this is more than a collection. So Tom, enough about me talking about you. Tell me about yourself. Tell me how long you've been in pigeon sport.
Yeah, I'm in pigeon sport since I was 4 years. Then we go to the club with my dad, of course, and also the two neighbors and faraway neighbors were pigeon fanciers. So that's how I came into the sport.
So you started with your father.
Yeah, like a lot of people in Belgium and the rest of the world, I think.
Yeah, so you start with your father. You start going to the club as a boy.
Yeah, as a young boy, I follow my father, and then at one day they asked my father if he want to be a helper in the club for basketing pigeons, and yeah, he did not refuse it. And then a few weeks later, he was basketing pigeons in the club. I go with him, and I was sitting there the whole time. But every week I was sitting there.
So every week, as a 4-year-old boy, you go to the club.
Yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7 year old boy, 6, 7 year, let's say. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're learning a little bit. You're going to the club.
Yeah, just for be by the pigeons, and I don't know why, but every week I was there. I go to the club. And
how did clocks? You started with clocks in a very weird way. How did it start for you with clocks?
Yeah, because my dad was basketing pigeons and I was just sitting on the table and do nothing actually. Then our clock setters asked me, hey, you are always here, but you are doing nothing. Maybe you can help us if you like. And I said, yeah, why not? What can I do? And first moment I have to take the clocks from the closet and bring them on the table to the clock setters.
So you took the clocks from the closet of the club to the table for the clock setters.
Yeah.
So in race time, the clocks, the manual clocks, they all have to stay at the club.
At the club, yeah. And the season starts until the end of the season. It was obligated that the clocks were in the club, except when there was a race, of course. When you have to use it for a race, then it was allowed to take home. Because it was sealed.
Okay, so, and if you guys can hear my comments, please post them in so I know everything's working good. It seems like YouTube and Facebook is working. We've had multiple people say hello. So don't be shy. So, you're at the club, you bring the clocks to the table for the clock setters. And
it was the start of my career in pigeon sport.
Okay, and how old are you at this age?
7, 8 years I was at that time.
7, 8 years?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're bringing this, and then how does it evolve to even more?
Yeah, then I took the clocks and put them on the table, and I saw the clock setters were opening the clocks, and take all the glasses away, check the paper, and put the clock still to stop, wind it up, set the clock, and do the paper on the right places, and set the clock officially.
Set the
So-
clock officially. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. In Canada, we would set our clocks at home.
Okay. yeah.
Okay? Or in America, we would set our clocks at home, bring the clocks to the club. The guy would look at the clock, he put a seal on it, then we would start the clock when it was time.
Okay. Yeah.
But
yeah.
in Belgium, you guys had clock setters.
Yes, all the time. More than 100 years, we had the clock setters. So
100 years of clock setting.
It has to be done officially by a guy who got a certificate to do the handlings and actions
Okay.
to set the clock.
So when you're just 7, 8 years old, you're bringing the clocks, you're watching the clock setters.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever become a clock setter?
No, I was not thinking that, of course, in that time. But I was make a structure of the clocks, and I know bring the clock to the table. It's just one part. There are more parts, so maybe I can do more than just bringing them to the table. I can open it. I could push the clock to stop. I could take away all the glasses. I could check the paper, wind the clock, and that's all in step by step. I go further and further to help the clock setters.
So you're learning,
Yeah, I learned. Yeah.
but you weren't a clock setter.
No, I wasn't, because I was not certified.
So whoa, you're not certified.
No,
You have to be certified to be a clock setter.
in Belgium you have to be certified. Yes.
So the story gets better.
Yeah.
What happens next?
Yeah, next step is the next step, of course. And hey, I can do this all. Why not set the clock by myself now? It's the last step I need, and then maybe I can be certified. So then we, in winter time, with our president and the other clock setters, we do it not officially for races, of course, because that was not allowed. But then I trained and trained more, and I get better. And in the next summertime, I did more and more, except setting the clocks officially. But with our president, he helps me because he knows who got the youth, who got the future.
With youth, there's future. Right. And how old are you at this time?
8 years.
8 years old.
I was
With youth, so the president of your club can see the forest for the trees.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
seen it in you. Okay.
Yeah.
Then what happens?
And then he took me and he learned me more and more about the clocks and reading the clocks, opening the clocks after a race. And then I could read the times on the paper bands from different clocks, Laladoise, Benzing, STB, Toulet, Herman Junior, all the brands we had in the club. I could read at the end of the season. And then it was time to get certified.
Time to get certified.
Yeah.
So, how old are you when you
End of 8 I was.
going into 9?
Yeah.
You're not even in the double digits yet.
No. Still 8, 9, end of 8. And then, in winter time, we go 2-3 evenings to the house of the president of the club. And then we learn more with more people who want to get certified. And then in January 90, then we go to the KBDB lessons for
Clock certification.
Set a clock and get certified. So we had to go 3 Saturdays to a location in the province of Antwerp, and then the National Clock Commission was there, and they give lessons to us with a video and manual. And then the 4th Sunday, Saturday, it was examination.
And did you pass?
Yes, of course I passed.
So you become certified to set clocks
yeah.
at the age of
9 and 1 week or something.
9 in 1 week.
9 years and 1 week.
And this makes you the youngest.
Yeah, definitely. I'm the youngest certified clock setter ever, and worldwide, I think.
Okay, so this gets into a question Sandor asks. He says, can you ask him in that time in your club, how many members were in your club?
I think Begin 90s, we had 130 or 150 members.
100, let's say 140 members in the club.
Yeah, yeah.
So how many clock setters were in your club?
We had three clock setters.
Was this including yourself?
And no, not me. And it was splitted. We had clock setters who were always there, and clock setters who were only on Saturday in the club.
Okay.
And
And
after a short time, one of the clock setter was too old, and he stopped with it. So that's why, we came for the future into the clock setters.
clock setting. And guys, I got more questions for Tom. Again, his museum it's awesome. You have to come and see it. We're going to get the walkthrough, and you're going to see, we got some clocks here on the table. We got some stuff. But I want you to give you guys a little bit of history on this young man. He's not 9 anymore. He's older than 9. But so you become a clock setter. You go to the club. There's 140 members, 130 members. How many clocks were you setting in an evening?
Yeah, in that time it was not as now. When one fancier have 200, 300, 400 pigeons. So it was another time. It was another era, and most fanciers were using 1 or maybe 2 clocks.
Okay, so
But at an evening or a Saturday, a whole day, we have a big club here, which plays every races from Kivray 130 kilometers to Barcelona 1100 kilometers.
okay,
But that one day we have to set maybe 200 clocks.
200 clocks.
Early 90s. Yeah.
And how long would it take?
Yeah, because we have preparing
Mm-hmm.
and 3 clock setters. It's just one evening. We started at maybe 6 o'clock in the evening, and we finished at 8:30 in the evening.
So about 2 hours.
2.5. Yeah.
So that was the system of clock setting.
Mm-hmm.
And you would now were the clock setters you set the clocks. Were you also the guys to strike the clocks off and read the clocks?
Yeah. We had teams to read off the clocks, but strike off the clocks were the same as the clock setters because they know the clocks and they know the system, and it was always the same
Okay.
guys who set the clock and do the strike off.
Now a question I have is, I've never been in a club with 140 members, and I know how long it takes with maybe 10 guys. How long did it take to strike off the clocks and read the times?
Yeah, strike off. In Belgium, we were obligated to strike off the clock at the correct minute with 60 seconds. Only then it was allowed. But one strike off guy could do 2 clocks in one time.
2 clocks in one time,
And
side by side.
normally we had 2 strike off guys in the club. And every minute we could do 4 clocks.
4 clocks a minute.
Strike off, yeah.
So you wouldn't let the people in the club strike at the same time?
No, it's not allowed in Belgium.
Okay, so we were allowed to. We would punch our own clock.
Yeah, and also in the Netherlands it was the same, but in Belgium it was not allowed.
So you would have to strike off all the clocks, and then you'd have to read all the clocks.
Then you have to read off, yeah. But
Now-
read off the clocks, we had different teams of 2 persons. One is opening and reading, and the other one is writing the numbers and times. But yeah, most of the time we had 3 or 4 or 5 teams who were opening the clocks.
So on an evening where there's 100 or 140 guys, how long would it take from start to finish?
I can't remember. But yeah, 2-3 hours, of course.
Of
Yeah.
just reading.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how that starts. You start, and guys, it gets even better. He moves up the ladder. He wasn't afraid to move up the ladder. So you go from learning at the beginning, then you become a setter, but then you get even a bigger job. Correct?
Yeah, then I was also opening the clocks and then writing the clocks, everything. Yeah.
And then at the end of the season, you had another job. You would examine clocks, correct?
Yeah.
You would write the tickets?
Yeah, after a few years, they ask in our club for the clock setters to the checkings of the older clocks if they are still the same as they are agreed by the KBDB. So maybe you could do some actions on the clock.
So basically, you would go and you would inspect the clocks off season
Yeah,
to make
yeah.
sure that people weren't tampering with clocks,
Yeah.
making little able to change times, stuff like this.
Yeah, make holes in the clocks and different things. We saw everything.
So you actually caught we're not asking names, but you actually caught clocks that were played with,
Yeah, clocks which were ready for cheating.
clocks that were ready for cheating.
Yeah, we saw them.
You saw them. So you would and in the off season, how many clocks would you guys examine?
Well, in the top years when it was obligated that every clock must have a ticket, an inspection, an approved inspection ticket, we saw maybe 10,000 clocks in the winter time.
So he's an expert at clocks. Let me ask you,
Yeah.
setting a clock from start to finish, roughly how long does it take you?
For me, maybe 2 minutes.
2 minutes a clock.
But the last mechanical clocks, the benzene computer clock, it's within a minute.
Within a minute.
Yeah.
So you sort of, and in your club, at the times when you were playing with the manual clocks, the clocks aged. The people all had different clocks, different brands, different. What were some of the oldest clocks to the newest ones that you were using at that time when you were a clock setter?
In our club we were, I think, a little bit lucky because the oldest clocks were after World War II, so from the early 50s, end of 40s. But there are places in Belgium where they raised in 2000, still with clocks from 1920.
1920.
Yeah.
So guys were still using clocks.
80 years old.
80 years old.
Yeah. And in the same time we started with the electronic clocks. So it was a huge difference to see the electronic clocks and 80 years old clocks.
That is quite something. Here's a question, and I'll get into my next question. Sandor says, but is it still so many use those old clocks in Belgian clubs? So today, can I use an old clock?
No, it's not allowed anymore.
It's forbidden.
It's need at least computer clock like T3 and benzene computer clock.
So you need an electronic clock. You need an electronic.
Yeah.
So you can't race.
Not really electronic, but a mechanical clock is allowed, but only the computer clock.
Only the computer clock.
Only two junior T3 and benzene computer clock, the blue ones.
That's it.
That's it.
So the old manual clocks is
now,
finished.
I think in 1 year or 2 years it's also forbidden. Then only electronic clocks will be approved to use on officially races.
Official races. All right. So you kind of caught it at the tail end. You totally evolved. You obviously you would have been one of the first ones to use a manual or a electronic clock.
Yeah.
So what do you think now of electronic clocks compared to, you know what I'm saying, compared to manual clocks? What do you prefer? What do you guys prefer racing with? What was more fun? Is it electric clocks or manual clocks?
Yeah, for the club it's much better to have the electronic clocks because it's a lot work less. And for the pigeon fancier, it's also better to have an electronic clock because you can lay down in your bed, in the seat, in your garden, and watch the pigeons, and you can see them, all of them, when they arrived. In the past, with the mechanical clocks, you were in front of the loft, looking for a pigeon. Then one came, you go in the loft, and when you came out, the race was over. And maybe, if you were lucky, you saw one pigeon arrived.
If you were lucky.
If you were lucky, yeah. Sometime it was there and you didn't see it. So fast it was.
All right. So you've done all the clocks. How did you get into clock collecting? And we're going to start to show the clocks here, guys. I highly recommend you check this out. I don't know why my gimbal's acting a little funny, so I'm going to hold it for a minute, let the brain cool down. How did you get into clock collecting? That's a tongue twister. Clock collecting. How'd you get into collecting clocks?
Yeah, after the inspections we did, we saw a lot of people were not able to check it and then recognize this is a clock ready for cheating. So then KBDB was reported, and they make lessons for clock setters, new lessons. Because I was a clock setter in the past, but then they did it for years not. And then they saw, yeah, we needed to do it again. And then we start with the lessons and examinations. And yeah, they have to know all the brands. But in places, they have only one brand. So we came in the clubs and everyone was telling us, hey, crazy guys, what do you have here? We never saw these clocks and now we have to learn it and we need to know it. Yeah, that's the rule from KVDB. But then one guy at one moment said, well, this is nothing. I have much more special old one clocks. If you want, you can take a look. And then we say, oh, it's okay. We will do it after the lessons and examinations. Then we go to his place and he had 25 clocks and very old. And he came back with 3 clocks and a rubber ringing machine. And then he asked me, if you promise me you will collect them, then you will get this for free. And then, yeah, of course I say, I promise to you, but I don't know what it means or what it was. But I say yes, and we get it. And then afterwards we're looking in the club, to the club fanciers, to a local flea market. eBay was coming, and then everything starts.
You start to collect.
It became bigger and bigger and bigger. It started with 1 clock and 2 clocks and 10 clocks, 50 clocks, 100 clocks, and before you know it was 400 plus clocks like now.
400 plus clocks.
Yeah, more than 400. Only Pigeon clocks without master timers, because it's another part of the collection and it's also more than 50 at the moment.
And in all of your clocks, we're sitting here, these are your favorite clocks in front of us.
Yeah, these are a little bit more special. I have many more specials, but I make a small selection today.
Small selection today, guys, and I'm going to show you when we go upstairs. Very hard. I mean, it's tricky to select, especially when you go up there, because each one I asked you about is you have a little information on all of them.
Yeah.
So if we start here, maybe the one beside you, the silver one here. Tell me about this clock.
This is a Van Heeren clock. It is made in leather by Aalst. It's made in 1897 till 1903, and then the company was taken over. The clock company was taken over by Laladoise. Laladoise is a very famous brand in Belgium.
And this clock here, how many pigeons could you clock with this?
This one is for 17 pigeons. For that time it is a huge amount, but this clock was not in the fanciers loft at the beginning. It was a club clock. So all the fanciers from the club basket pigeons for a race. And when the pigeon arrived, they have to take off the rubber ring and bring it to the club. And then they clocked it in such a big pigeon clock.
So this clock here would be left at the club.
Yeah.
And how many clocks like this would be in that club?
Yeah, probably 2 or 3 maximum.
So guys, we're only allowed to clock what, 1 pigeon?
Yeah, 1, 2 pigeons per fancier was sent to the races.
So small numbers.
Early 1900s.
Yeah, small numbers. That's right.
Yeah, many fanciers, small numbers of pigeons.
Okay. And this clock here, geez, when I look at it, it looks like it's in perfect shape. It looks like it's never been used.
Yeah, I think it's overpainted through the years. Someone make it more or less brand new again.
And does this clock still work today?
This is working, yes. In the collection is 98% of the clocks will work.
Okay.
It's 1900s, it's big axis, strong material, it's made for 500 years. It's not like we have now buy it and throw it away after 2 years.
Okay, so this is one of your favorites.
Yes. Also because of the shape, it's a round one. There are only 3 round ones, I think. All the rest is square or...
Okay. Let's move here to the next clock, the square one here in front of you. This is big. This thing must be heavy. I think at 9 years old, you wouldn't be able to lift this clock.
No, I don't think so. This is 9.5 kilograms. It's a Benzing Model 3.
Okay.
It's actually the second model of Benzing because the Model 2, nobody knows it as a collector. But yeah, it's a heavy one. I can open it and then you can see it inside.
Now, question. Would you still know how to set this clock today?
Yeah, I can do it. No problem. The system to set a clock like this one or from Laladwa's or STB, which are 70 years younger, it's still the same. You have to open it, wind the clock, bring the paper in the right position, close it, and make the start of the clock. That's it.
And with these clocks here, do you still have, are all the keys the same? Do you have the keys for the clocks? Is it?
I have keys, yeah. In general, if you have 5 or 7 different measurements of keys, you can wind almost 99% of the clocks.
Okay. So this clock would be, what year would this have been again?
This clock is Benzing
From what year do you have?
from 1903.
1903. And how many birds would this one clock?
20 birds.
20
you can
birds.
clock with this one.
And would this have stayed at the club as well?
Yes. In the beginning, it stays in the club, and then after 20 years, after World War II in the 20s and 30s, it was used by bigger fanciers in their own lofts. Then fanciers sent 10 or 15 pigeons to a race, and it was okay for them.
Okay. And now we move to the next one over beside you.
Mm-hmm.
The tall one. It looks like a briefcase.
This one is a very special one for me because I found it on eBay also, and nobody knows this clock. I was the only one who had one in that time as a collector.
Okay. And where is it from?
For more than 20 years we were looking for the brand name, and finally last year we found it. It's an old jacket. It's made by Georges Jacquet from Liège, and it's made in 1904 and also patented.
And how many would this one have clocked?
17 birds also.
So this again was a club.
This also a club clock, yeah.
And what area would this clock have been used in? Do you have any ideas?
Well, no, I don't know. We know a lot, but from some special clocks we have less information. So we can open it. You already can see this is very special.
Let me come around and I will show you. Oh boy, you can take it apart from both sides.
Yeah. That makes this clock so special.
Now, you don't know how to set this one.
I can do, but it takes longer than 1 minute.
Wow. So, and where did you find this on the internet?
This is from the internet, yeah, but it was in Belgium. Yeah, it's a Belgian clock, so most of them stay in Belgium in that time. Only a few brands were selling to the foreign countries.
And there's the back of it. Wow. Quite something, eh?
Yeah, it's a very early one, so...
And for people wondering, you know how people look at antiques, what would you estimate a value of a clock like this?
Yeah, a clock like this is... Yeah, it's simple, but the clock, the word is clock. In 200 years it will still run. And of course there are not so many collectors in the world, but everyone will have this one.
Everyone.
And I only know 4 or 5 clocks at the moment like this model.
So it's almost whatever, it's worth what someone would pay.
Yeah, that's it, but yeah.
Okay, that's a beautiful clock. You want to put it back together? I watch you do it. Carlos Textera says hello. Hello, Carlos. And again, this is from what, the early 1900s.
Yeah, 1904. Yeah.
1904. And it even has, had the original handle, eh?
Yeah, it's the original handle, but it's now broken on 2 places.
but that's okay.
It's no,
It's a beautiful clock.
not a big deal.
And now, hey, we move over to this guy. The other one lying down.
Very early habit.
Okay.
The Pigeon clock is from Belgium, from area of Charleroi, but the clock itself, it's from Germany. It's from Schlenkergrüßen, and you can see this is number 134. It's a very early one, and you can see also because the handle is in the front. Normally these cases are smaller with the handle on the left side.
Okay, so when this clock was, how would this clock work? If you were...
Yeah, so it's closed. You have to drop the rubber rings in here and then turn it away and clock. Here are paper discs on it with hours and a second disc with minutes and seconds. And the needle will punch a hole in the paper and then you can read what time the pigeon was clocked.
Wow, eh?
This is also 1898, 1900.
So this is just before 1900s.
Yeah, it's also for 90 pigeons, so also a club clock, which was used after it in some big loft of a private fancier.
Okay, and then we move maybe now to clocks like this. Are they this older, younger?
No, this is from Kamei Mossiad. It's made or patented in 1915.
Okay.
So it's also more than 100 years old.
And this would be a clock that people took home.
This is for home, yeah. So it's like this. And of course, when I found a beautiful clock, a rare clock, I open it and I clean it. Outside, inside, also the clock itself will be opened, cleaned, oiled, so that it can run for another 100 years at least.
Now, when you received this clock, it wasn't looking this nice.
No, it was not so beautiful as now. It was more ugly and some rust here and there. But I remove it, I clean it, and now
It's good.
it's like, new.
This clock here, how many birds would this have hold?
These are for 15 birds.
15 birds.
Yeah.
Okay, and this would have been, again, you said 15?
1910, 1915.
Okay.
About like that, yeah.
And then, now we move over here to another clock.
Yeah, so maybe this one first.
This one, okay.
Yeah. This is a Defoe. Defoe start building pigeon clocks in 1904, 1905. This is a third model. You can see it. It's number 1001.
Mm-hmm.
But the 1000 means actually nothing. It's number 1 of this model.
So that's a number 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's also special and nice to have.
What makes this?
This one is just one of my favorites in the whole collection because it's so beautiful.
And it's running.
It's
Yeah,
running.
look at it running.
This clock is from the early 20s.
Okay.
And maybe 200 were made from this model.
200 were made.
200, only 200.
And again, a silly question, you could start this and run this.
Yes, you see it's running, so...
And how many birds would this have held?
We can check it and see it. So you can see 12 pigeons.
12 pigeons. And again, when you were clock setting, would this have been a clock you may have seen?
No.
This is a bit too old.
This was not allowed anymore in the 90s.
Okay. It's a beautiful clock. How long have you had this one?
I have this one now for 2 years.
So you're always looking for clocks.
Always, every day. Some days, 3 times a day.
And
I'm
where do you
looking
punch?
for clocks.
Where do you punch this one?
You punched over here. You have to put the key over here.
Okay.
And then you can
You crank it to punch it.
crank it. Yeah.
Okay.
And then here is a paper. And this roll will roll over the time. And then it's punched on the paper.
So that's how that worked.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one.
And they would just take the rubber rings. It wouldn't take the capsules or nothing. Just rubber rings.
This time it was only rubber rings. After it was also with the capsules.
Okay. And now it moves to the next one.
Yeah, so all the clocks we saw now, it's Belgium or Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have here a Italian clock. It's the Falco from Riviera, from the area of Reggio Emilia. It's from the early 50s, but it's so nice shape that it has in front. It's so difficult to find in Belgium, at least.
And this clock here, it looks like it came with capsules. No? Yes?
Yeah, it's also with capsules.
And you punch it from the side.
You punch from the side, yeah.
And this clock here would have held how many? Probably what? 12?
I think 12, I think, but I'm not sure anymore.
Beautiful clocks. So out of all these, if you could only keep one, which one would you pick? This is tricky.
Very tricky, yeah. Yeah, I cannot make a choice.
He can't make a choice.
No,
He loves them all.
Not possible.
All right. Also, you collect rings?
Yeah, I collect everything from the Belgian Pigeon sport, except the Pigeon clocks. It's worldwide.
So rings. How old are these silver rings here?
It's from the 40s and maybe one from the 30s, but this is one from 45. It's a war year.
Wow, from 45. And these are very hard to find, I take it, eh?
Yeah, the Belgian aluminium ones are hard to find, especially before World War II and older, of course. But I have from 1898 and then 1900 until this year.
And there's rings with the booklet as well, eh? And these are the caps.
These are the thimbles, yeah. You have to put the rubber rings in it and then drop the thimble in the clock to clock your pigeon.
So it's more that you're collecting more than just clocks. What do you like if people want to contact you or want to collect? Sometimes this happens. Collect more.
Mm-hmm.
You're always interested.
Yeah, I'm always interested.
It doesn't matter. It's pigeon related. You're interested.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we get to this. I thought this is incredible. Explain to me, for people that have no clue what we're looking at. This looks to me like a ceramic tile that goes on a roof.
Yeah, it's correct. Wow.
See?
Great.
Look at this, eh?
Yeah.
So what is this? It looks like it's a tile with like a hole in it, with a cage in the front or
Yeah, in the early days, pigeon fanciers had pigeons in the rooftop because they had no money to build a pigeon loft in their garden, or they had no garden.
Okay.
So they make a special pen in the roof with a hole in it, and behind the hole there was a pigeon loft. So the pigeon came here and it goes in.
Yeah, and those would fold back,
And
which we're not going to fold it back, but that folds back, and the pigeons drop into the attic of the loft,
yeah,
into the roof.
directly, yeah. And if you drive in Belgium and you're watching very good, you can see them still now in houses.
Okay, so now that I'm here, I have to look.
Yeah, you have to look.
Now I have to look.
And then you have to stop and make a picture of it.
Yeah,
And
the
send
people
it to
think
me.
people think I'm weird.
What a crazy guy is that?
Yeah, now there's nobody now that would use this. No.
Really using, I don't know, but yeah, maybe.
Maybe. But this was a very hard piece to find, eh?
Yeah, it's hard to find. Yeah, you have to find it, and yeah, the house must be broke off.
So this
Because
was very hard to
You
find.
cannot go to a house and
just take it off.
buy one. That's not possible.
That's right, but you still can see them here today.
You can see them. Yeah.
Okay, a beautiful piece. I had to show this because I thought, hey, this is incredible. Now behind, you go around the other side, Tom, and we show a little bit of this. So this was from this little sack here. Was from, and I just want to make sure that I'm okay here. Was from World War
Two.
II.
It's from the Swiss Army. You can see it over here.
Okay, the Swiss Army.
It's the logo. And it's used for soldiers who get pigeons into the front line,
Front lines,
to
yeah.
the front line, and then they can take out the pigeon, give it a message, and let it go.
Now, what was so amazing was this little carrier, and I'm not going to get them to unpack it, no way. But this little carrier would be packed like this, and there would still be a spot for the pigeons to be inside of this. Packed like this.
Yeah, they were very tight packed, like this,
They were-
sitting all the time, waiting to be released. But when it took too long time to be released, then it was possible to set up a construction that they can walk a little bit and stretch their legs and wings.
Okay, so what we're saying is in here, there is almost like a little cage that comes out that they had to unpack. And it would go on the outside, and that's where they would give the birds food, water, let them stretch his legs.
Yeah, yeah,
And the pigeons would be in here, the soldiers would be carrying this.
yeah.
That's an incredible piece.
And they were very careful with the pigeons because sometimes it was their only hope to be saved from the enemy.
And this, how did you find this piece? Now this is you said from Sweden?
Switzerland.
Switzerland, Sweden,
Swiss,
close.
yeah, 2,000 kilometers difference, but in letters is close.
And how, like you have that's in perfect tact. It's in perfect shape.
Yes.
It looks like it was never, obviously it could have been used. Because you have everything that goes with it.
We think that it is used because why we can find it otherwise, so
And
it
my
must be used.
my other question for you, Tom, and thank God my gimbal came back to me. I don't want to screw with it. This this setup here, because I asked you how does it work. Have you ever taken it apart and set it up?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, you know what you have to do one day for me?
Yeah, I will show you.
You have to do a video of taking it down
Yeah.
and putting it up, because I think, from here, it doesn't look like much. But I'm sure when it's set up, it's quite awesome, eh?
More beautiful, of course.
But this is one thing, I try and pick out a few small things. And we're going to go upstairs here now, and we're going to check out Tom's museum. Now, let me ask you, Tom, if there are people that want to come and see your collection, is it possible? Are they allowed to come if they make a time with you to see?
I made time for them, of course. But yeah, it's only after an appointment.
An appointment.
And always open.
If you want to see, and I recommend, if you like old history, old clocks, hey, this is the youngest clock setter in Belgium history.
I was.
He was. They can never take this away from you.
No, it's forever. It's the youngest one. I was the youngest.
The youngest. Hey guys, Lau. Oh, also, I'm going to post, I just wanted to show this, and I am going to show it when we go up, but I'm posting up this beautiful drinker that you guys see here in the photo. I took the photo. Now this large, it looks like a torpedo drinker.
Yeah, it's a huge and big one.
One. It's 5 liters.
Yeah, maybe 7, but yeah, at least 5 liters.
And how did you find this?
Yeah, it was with an old venture, very old venture, and it belongs to his grandfather.
Wow.
And he take contact with me, and yeah, he said you can have it because you are a collector, and then I know it's in good hands for many years. And then we don't have to throw it away.
You don't have to throw it away, and it works. Does it still hold water?
Yeah.
It's still good.
Yeah, it's no leak.
Question: if you're ever desperate for a drinker, do you ever use it?
But no.
No, eh?
I fill it with some water to clean the inside.
And that's
then
it.
We drop it away, and now it's collection. It's not on our loft anymore. No.
But it's a beautiful piece.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen another one?
Like this one, no.
This could be the last one living.
Kind of, yes, and smaller one, and also beautiful ones. But one like this I never saw before. It must be one from 1890s.
Amazing, eh? It made it
So
past
it's
all the war,
older,
everything.
Older than the oldest clock, which is on this table now.
And how did you find it? Again, you found it through a gentleman. He just brought it over.
Yeah, take contact with me and he said, I know you collect old pigeon stuff and you can have it. Please come to me and take it and put it in your collection.
Beautiful piece.
Yeah.
All right, Tom, let's keep walking. Let's go upstairs and let's show them your real problem.
Okay.
And again, you do sell certain clocks.
Yeah, not from the collection. Once the clock is in my collection, then it's not for sale anymore.
Okay.
Only if I have double ones, then yeah, it's possible to swap or sell or whatever.
And there it is, right here in front of you guys. Man, what a beautiful piece. I mean, really, it's beautiful. I follow you.
Okay.
And you see the photos, the painting. I love this drawing. You didn't draw this, did you?
No, it's not mine. Then it was more ugly.
That's the nice drawn pigeon I've ever seen. And again, you see clocks, clocks, clocks. But you're not going to see clocks until now. Now you really start to see them. Let me show you some drinkers. You're not collecting medicine, are you?
Yeah, and here we have some books. More than 200.
More than 200 books.
Only in Dutch language.
Only in Dutch, okay? Wow. Here we go, guys. We're going to go in here. It's not a big room. Very, very small. And again, where do you start in this room? I mean,
this is the first one. Here I started with.
this is what you started with here.
Actually, it was downstairs where the drinker is now.
Uh-huh.
There I started with this one.
And look at the painting, eh? You collected this. Someone brought you this painting.
Yeah. Also, a fancier gave it to me because he knows I collect it. It was his best pigeon ever. And then they bring it to a taxidermist when the pigeon died. But it was so ugly that they broke it off and they kept the wing. And that wing I still have.
So you have the wing of this pigeon here.
I have the wing, yeah.
Is it a nice looking wing?
Yeah, it's exactly the same as a painting.
Exactly the same as a painting. And all these clocks here, like all these silver ones, what country are they from? How old are they?
It's all Belgian clocks.
All Belgian
All
clocks.
from Belgium.
And I see
Area of Brussels.
So these were all clocks in Brussels. Okay. And this here, this was a German clock.
That's a German one, yeah.
This one is?
That's from France.
Mm-hmm. These two?
Belgian one, east of Germany, and a Belgian one from Brussels.
And this green one, I really like the look of this. This is like looks modern, but it's not. What's the green one?
The green one is a big Gerard clock, also from Brussels. And it's the first used clock in Mol, in this town where I live.
So in your town here of Mol,
Yeah.
which, guys, this is the town that Staff Van Riet lived in. Did you know him?
Yeah, of course I know Staff. He was living 2 kilometers away from here.
1 or 2 kilometers away from here. See, I knew when I was driving, I knew I was in the right spot. Then we have all these. Now, for some people, they would say, well, these all look the same.
Yeah.
But they're all different.
If you are a collector, then they are all different. It's also different brands. It's Palmtag, it's Benzing, it's Thule, it's Dufas, Ideal, Easy Way. And then, yeah, these are different. It's
And this
Benzing.
one, what's the green one?
It's a Benzing Comatic. It's number 49. So it's a very, very early one. It's the lowest number I know.
Okay.
And it's from 1957.
1957. And then we have this little brown one here. This is beautiful.
It's a bakelite clock. And I think only 2 pigeon clocks were made from bakelite. It's the Herman clock and the UK Skymaster. And yeah, this is a very beautiful one. I took some hours time for cleaning it. So it's now Probably it's the most beautiful Herman pigeon clock in the world.
Now, I know people are going to ask me, this isn't a clock. What is this?
No, this is not a clock. This is a trophy which was given to the international winner of Barcelona 1994, to René Verbarg. And when he gets 96 year, he was at my booth in Vigare and he signed his cover where he was on from the Gelegd. And afterwards, he died at the age of 102 years. And his daughter contacted me and I could have all the Barcelona trophies if I want.
And guys, I'm just taking through this slowly. Now, I take it these are what, master timers in here or clocks?
These are master timers.
So all these are master timers. Now,
yeah.
If you guys don't know how master timers work, we can explain it. And what's in the bag here? Clock?
Yeah, normally there is a clock in it, but now it's just hanging, and when there is a clock in it, it's too heavy. So
too heavy for the bag.
Now it's empty, but it belongs to the metal clocks.
Okay, so those belong to the metal clocks. Now, I'm going to move along over to here slowly, and this is really incredible. So these here, and I hope you guys can see them, these were where you put the counter marks.
Yeah.
And you see, watch. Everything still works. The rings go on. And man, you have a pile of them. Which is your oldest one?
So, yeah, which is the oldest one? I think the two at the back sides are the oldest ones.
And just look at it.
It's complete wood with a little bit of metal to be strong enough to open the rubber ring.
Here's a question David Tracy asked. This is a great question. On some of these clocks, do they all have dates on when they were manufactured? How did you learn to tell which clocks were which?
Yeah,
how old?
We have newspapers and other papers in Belgium, old papers. A lot of them are digital. We can search them from the National Library.
Okay.
And then we can get some information which model it is. Sometimes there is a picture, and also they are patented, and then we know the correctly year because there are describing and pictures in it, drawings, and then we know and are pretty sure. Okay, this clock is this brand and this year.
And there you have stamps, and you have there those are the seals, eh?
Yeah.
The seals for the clocks.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. What beautiful. And what was this? Oh, yeah, that's another bander, eh?
That's another bander, yeah.
Incredible. And I'm going to turn in a moment, but I see you have these round, the big ones here. These are the master timers. Over here, correct? No.
Yeah, that's master timers.
So how does the master timer, how was that work? Because when we had manual clocks, we had we had a stopwatch or something. Mm-hmm. So how are these working?
So in the club is, most of the time only one master timer. That's why they are so rare. Pigeon clocks, they are 20, 30 or 100. But master timers, there was only one in the club. Then they have to set a master timer. But in Belgium, they have to call to the national time phone. And then they have to set the clock. And in 3 beeps, it was beep, beep, beep.
So there was a phone number that the clubs would call.
Yeah.
What was the phone number?
994.
994. That's where you could get Tom, 994. And they would have the beeps.
And then 3 beeps, and that was a correct time. And then they switched on the master timer to start. And then they have to close it and seal it till the next day or 2 days later when the pigeon clocks came back in for the strike off.
Okay, so those were used. You had to use them.
Yeah, every club must have it. Otherwise, you couldn't set pigeon clocks, and they were used till mid 90s, and some clubs till end 90s maybe. And then they came the TCF 77 clocks, like we know from the ETS systems also. And then later on, we have now the GPS clocks.
And my other question, and actually I don't have this question, David Tracy does. He says, I have an old STB. Does he have any?
Yes, of course I have STB, but where it is, maybe it is not rare enough to be in this part of the collection, but I found one.
You're gonna show you one. Let's see.
And here it is. This is an old STB.
Is that what you were talking about?
The first one was made in 1949,
Okay.
and they are made until mid-70s.
Mid-70s.
And then the newer STBs came. It
Okay.
was like the red one over here.
Okay.
It's a quartz STB with batteries.
Okay.
And they are from the 80s.
They are from the 80s. You have a lot of clocks. And in this room, I would say, what, 200-ish?
Yeah, something like, I think this part is 50 and 50 others, and all here on the ground is, yeah, it will make 200, yeah, maybe.
That's
maybe more.
Now, a clock that David Tracy asked, the STB, what do you value a clock like that worth if someone has one? What can is David holding on to $1 million clock?
I don't think so.
What do you think it's worth?
An STB, it's 5, 10, 15 euros.
So
That-
$20.
That's it.
$20 to $30.
something. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Also,
Because for us in Belgium, it was used here. We are Belgium. We have a lot of them, so it's worthless. Actually, it's worthless, but
for your collection, it's important.
it's always worth something.
The first one he showed, yes, the first one he showed, David asked me about, oh, you have the first one he showed. Yes, okay. Also, I was going to ask, I see here that you have electronic clocks, old electronic clocks.
Yeah, of course.
What's,
It's also part of the clocking the pigeons. So I start already with electronic clocks because I collect the mechanical ones.
Mm-hmm.
I know how difficult it is to get information about the first clocks and also for electronic clocks, and how hard it is to find them. So that's why I start also with collecting the electronic clocks to get them now, because in 10 years nobody will have them, the old ones. They are all disappeared and exchanged for newer clocks, because yeah, the clocks are still coming, upgrading and with new technology.
guys, you see all the, I mean, it's a collection. And these wicker baskets, what were they for?
All also club baskets, because in winter time when there was no pigeon sport, pigeon clubs organized show days for pigeons.
Mm-hmm.
Then fanciers can bring their pigeons and everyone could see the pigeons, and it was good.
So
They make some money.
So this
Winter
would
time also.
So this would have been how long? What? Geez.
I have
How old are these?
I have a picture in old books from the 30s, and then I see the upper cage.
Mm-hmm.
So
You see the upper cage from the 30s.
Between 1900 and 1940.
So they would show their pigeon in this.
Yeah.
And have a beer.
But
bring
also in the early days when you have to run with a pigeon or with a rubber ring, then afterwards the pigeon has to be showed in the cage to the other fanciers that they could see, this was the winner of the race.
Okay. Yeah. Now I see here also you have some nest bowls.
Yeah.
You don't know the ages of any of these, do you?
No, it's calc, wood, stone. It's different materials of.
Where did you get some of these? It looks like this is what? Is this a diploma or a painting?
This is a diploma. It's a litho from the Verband Ekeren for the first prize winner of the first nominated pigeon. And there is no race name on it.
And so you found these as well.
Yeah, it's Belgium. We find them everywhere.
They're absolutely beautiful. And again, guys,
Also, that diploma is beautiful because it's from 52.
Yes.
It's from the Moedige Duif Arendonk. It was in top years of Brothers Janssen Brothers.
Yes.
But this guy was the champion with the first nominated all pigeons from the speed races. It's not Janssen Brothers in 52, but this guy.
This guy. And
It's also
is this
very hard to find something like that because
Is this
Janssen
original?
Brothers won everything in that time.
okay?
This is original.
This is
Yeah.
original.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there'll only be how many of these in the world?
There's only one of this one.
Only one.
Only one.
And most of these would only be one. Would you say?
It's only one. This is only one.
Only one. Absolutely incredible.
This is one from 1906.
1906. Again, this would be original. It had to go through both wars.
This guy,
Uh-huh.
Frans van Vliet from Duffel, he won first prize from the race from Saint-Denis. It's about 350 kilometers. And the total pigeons in the race were 778.
778. Guys, this is incredible when you see it. This is one of one. So this is like real artwork. If you think about this.
Yeah.
We're going to see him on Pawn Stars or something. Unbelievable. What a collection. What's the silver? That's a case?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also a Gerard pigeon clock made in Brussels.
Oh yeah, look at this.
It needs 3 paper discs, hours, minutes and seconds. And then you have to open it and clock with a pusher.
An absolute beautiful collection here from Tom's. Also, I wanted to say, hey guys, Tom, he's not just a clock collector, a clock setter, a clock salesman. There's more than that. And I got to give him, I posted up the red here in the photo.
Yeah.
Tell us about the red. He's yours.
Yeah, it's our national winner from the race from Montélimar, 750 kilometers in 2020. It was, we race only the long distance, so shorter distance doesn't interest us actually. And on this real first race, first national of Montélimar in the category of the yearlings.
Yearlings. How many pigeons roughly?
2,800, and the second pigeon was from Jostonnet. So it was double party, because if you can beat Jostonnet, then you're good.
If you can beat Josh Donet, you're good. And a question, you had people call you about the pigeon, right?
Yeah.
Call you,
People call us, to congratulate and
ask about the pigeon.
asking about the pigeon and his pedigree and parents and family of pigeon. And
But something interesting, you tell them, it was his first race.
they ask us what was his positions in other races before this one, and then the shorter distance doesn't interest us, and so I couldn't say nothing. So
You don't clock them, no, you just send them.
No, just send them,
Just send them.
We clock them, but we don't care about if we have the 15th prize or 50th prize or 500 prize. We don't care. 500 kilometer races, only from 750, then it's for real for us.
Then it's for real, guys. We're with Tom, so he's also a flyer. He likes more of the distance, over 700. But you have in your club, you've won every race in your club, from Quievrin all the way up.
Yeah.
Except for what, one race?
Yeah, maybe another few, but only one important race that we are missing, and that's a Barcelona race. A race from Spain we never won.
And that's what you're working on now.
Quievrin and 200, 300, 400, 500, 6, 7, 8, 900. Once we won it, but only Barcelona we didn't won.
And do you think you can do this? Can you win it?
We still hope. We are fighting and we are participant, and then we will see what happens.
And you fly still with your family? You guys fly together?
Yeah, with my father and mom.
Okay.
Family sport.
Family sport. And guys, if you want to message Tom, what's the best way to get a hold of you, Tom?
Yeah, via Facebook. It's the most easiest for everyone, I think.
Go on.
My name or Tom's Pigeons Museum, and then you will find me.
And if you have something, you have a question, you have a clock, maybe you found something interesting anywhere in the world you're interested.
Yeah, or if you want to know a year when it's manufactured, then you can ask me. It's no problem.
Well, Tom, I want to thank you again today for taking the time to show. It's an awesome collection. I'm glad I came. And you keep doing this. You got a few more clocks to collect.
Yeah.
You still looking for different ones?
Of course. I have 98 different brands of manual mechanical pigeon clocks. And I'm going to 100 and then 101 and 102. But
It never stops.
now my goal is to have 100 different mechanical brands of pigeon clocks.
He's got a goal. Barcelona and clocks. and pigeon memorabilia. As long as it's to do with pigeons and the war, it doesn't matter what country. Get a hold of Tom. He'd be interested to know what it is.
Yeah.
Again, you can see him. Sometimes he's at the Fugari. He has his own clock booth. You can see him there. Other times, if you don't see him, go to the Benzing.
Yeah.
You now work with Benzing.
Yes.
Work for Benzing.
Yeah.
And
with them for Benzing, yeah.
how do you like it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Just think about it, eh?
So cool to do.
When you were 9 years old,
Yeah.
did you ever think now you would be working at a pigeon clock company?
No.
It was like it was chosen for you.
Yeah. It's made for me. Everything came together, and yes, I work for Benzing now, and I'm so happy to do that.
All right. Hey, guys, that was Tom. It was a great day. You see the stuff behind me. Reminder, guys, to like, share, and subscribe. You can get a hold of Tom. He's on Facebook. Check our site. Thank you again, Tom, for allowing us to come and see this. Hey, this is the perks of the job. And if you do want to come and see this, as long as you set up an appointment, I totally recommend you come and see it, because just think, in a little 8x6 room, you have hundreds of old clocks. And I'll tell you, you've been collecting for what, 30 years now ish?
27, yeah.
27-ish.
27. I started in 97.
97. He's collecting still to this day. I can't wait to come back here in another 30 years. Imagine, he'll have the whole house full, and he has clocks at his own house. But anyways, guys, reminder to like, share, and subscribe. That was Tom's Museum and Tom's Clocks. The best of the best. Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions. Thanks for flying with us, guys. You have yourselves a great day, and look for pigeon clocks. Bye for now.